Shalom, Israel. The ISUPK is hosting the Lord's 55th annual Passover with a all-access pass to the lamb slaughter, all-black party, scripture breakdown class, kids party, the Lord's 55th annual Passover, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Get your all-access pass at ISUPK.com. Starting with April 17th events with the lamb slaughter at 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in North Carolina. Make sure that you get involved. Make sure that you're in the house at 1921 Strickland Road, Clayton, North Carolina. Followed up on April 18th, Thursday, the all-black party. ISUPK concert series in Durham, North Carolina at the Durham Armory. Last year we tore it down, and this year it's gonna be a whole movie. Then Friday, we have the kids party with a petting zoo. On top of that, it's going to be held at the Sky Zone Trampoline Park with virtual reality included. Get your all-access pass at ISUPK.com. April 19th in the evening, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. You already know we got the heavy hitter in the building, and it's going to be at the South Square Event Center. Make sure that you're in the house starting at 7 p.m. in Durham, North Carolina. Then April 20th, the moment you've been waiting for, the Lord's 55th annual Passover. Make sure that everybody's in the house, and it's being held at the last Black National Fairgrounds in Pittsboro, North Carolina, starting at 6 p.m. Also housing an actual slave quarters, which you will be able to go and take pictures and video footage in front of it. That's 191 Fairgrounds Road, Pittsboro, North Carolina, April 20th, starting at 6 p.m. Doors open at 4 p.m. for a brunch. Make sure you're in the house on time. Then April 21st, Sunday, is the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the Haiti Heritage Center, 804 Old Fayetteville Street, Durham, North Carolina. Make sure that you are in the house. If you have not booked your hotel room, there are still a few rooms available at the Millennium Hotel. Check the number, make sure that you call. Rooms are only available while they last. The Lord's 55th annual Passover, hosted by the ISUPK.
We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me, and I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me, but don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the truth, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised, and what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards and all. So fuck a gas stop, I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing, we like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian but we not, nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up, we came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment, I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sitting linger, I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers, you official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the sig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, one West stayed the same on them.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Call Kazak, tells a rock, bring Shamar out. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Huh, nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until you're off the street. So y'all on the internet stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch your sister or a brother, you gonna be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain. Clip full of ball heads, I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's. Driven ambition, I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the fact. Cry aloud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at?
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga.
Shalom, Lord Christ, Israel's preaching officer, 500 guitar, but ISUPK Detroit. Of course, under command of Junior Hunter out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And of course, like the intro said, Passover is coming up. Make your plans, make your arrangements. You script save, did what you had to do for all types of dumb in the world. You can do the same thing for the Most High. Take your trip. You've been to Vegas before. You've been to Cancun. You've been to Florida and Miami. Why don't you go to Passover? You did what you had to do. Go see Kurt Franklin and your little Christian. Why don't you actually do what Christ did? Y'all was just celebrating Easter and laying eggs when Christ was, guess what? He was celebrating Passover. Y'all celebrate his death, burial, and resurrection, and don't get it twisted. We appreciate his sacrifice, that grace that he allowed us in that death. But at the same time, we're going to actually obey him. We're not going to be disobedient children. If we say we love him, we ought to walk as he walked. Ain't that what the scripture says? Just saying. And as a side note, I heard the new music coming out of ISUPK Detroit. We got a little more for more soon, coming soon. All right, so let's get started. We got on the board. As for last week, you got possessive adjectives. Of course, that possessive adjective go after root. So as you see at the bottom, you have the preposition, root word, possessive adjective. So to go over them real quick, of course, you have the pronunciation to the far left. In the middle is the English understanding of it. And then you have the Hebrew and the Assyrian and the ancient. So you have Yah after a word, just like it's, I give a different example. Yah after the word means my. Ka after a word means your. Wa after a word means his. Ha is her. Nawa is our. Khan is yours. You have the feminine and the masculine and the feminine, and then ma and na is both there, which is you have your masculine and you have your feminine. The masculine is the ma and the kam. The feminine is the khan and the na. So Abanawa, our father, is at the end of that word. So that's that possessive adjective. Shemka, if somebody was to ask you, how do you say, what's your name would be Shemka. Name is Shem, Sham in the Hebrew. So if you put Ka at the end of it, Shemka, you have. So these indicate the possession of that root word. Preposition, on the other hand, sits in front of it. It sits in front of the root word. We're not going to put those on the board. We went through those last week. But those are those ones that you're just going to have to remember. All right, so this week we're going to go over commands. So what we're going to go over first, we're going to put down some directions. And then we're going to give commands with those directions. A lot of the times we see things or hear things that's in the Sabbath service. And if you're not actually in the Hebrew class or studying independently the Hebrew, you might think a person is saying something that they're not saying. They actually might be saying it exactly how you're saying it, but because of the fluidity of it, they're saying it not technically accurate. I'll word it like that. And we'll go over a couple of examples. All right, so command in the Hebrew is Tazawa. Tazawa. Now, you know we have a ta and a za by itself. The ta, which is what I call the X-Men symbol, and the za, which is a Z. But this one is the taza. And then you have your wa and your ha. The wa and the ha is connected. So in the Assyrian, you would have that. My tazai was like a strange why. Don't worry about it. I felt like the fluidity of it kind of made me look like I knew what I was doing. So we're going to leave it as is. Now, if you wanted to tell somebody to stand, that word is Imad Yum. So in the Hebrew, it would be I Mad Yum. So that's the ancient and the Assyrian. All right, so we're going to stop and go over a couple things right here and highlight the Amajim. One of the things that I want to point out is in the Assyrian, notice the first M and the last M. And then notice how close the D is to the Ra for the Assyrian, or the Da as well. You have one more, and I believe it's the Wa. All three of those are very similar. Also, the Ka, which we will probably have one that I'll highlight as well coming up at the end. The Ka, if that's at the end of a word in the Assyrian, it will look also as a Da or a Ra, that particular character. But Ma at the end of a word looks like this, but in anywhere else in that word, it will look like this. So don't confuse this last character with something else. Sometimes you will confuse it with a Sa because that's the closest thing that you will see on the alphabet list. You'd be thinking, oh man, that's a Sa. That's the only one it looks like. It looks a little different, but nah. Just pay attention to that. That's why I say you got to make sure that you get familiar with the various scripts that or handwritings of the various scripts. I would say learn the mainstream one first. The reason why I say learn the mainstream one because that way it'll be easier for you to read the text, and then you somebody else or find some other literature that might not be as popular, but their handwriting is easier to do. That's not no problem learning that too. But it might be a little confusing looking at a different script. All right. So to say stand, it's imad yum. Sometimes that yum kind of turns into a jum, a majum. The next word or what we'll say or command that we'll give is stand at rest. To say that is imadium. So like it. Shabbat. Now, when I was first hearing it, to be honest, I thought it was a Majim Shabbat. Like the H wasn't at the end. But as you learn Hebrew, you actually look at those words, you'll better be able to pronunciate those words. Nobody is going to say that you're wrong if that's how you learned it, as in repetition. Like that's almost being, what's that word when somebody want to nitpick on something that's not even that important? It's like the tomato almost. It's not that big of a deal. But just so you know the correct pronunciation, that's why we're going over it. So, of course, in the Hebrew, that will be, I'm going to leave the Amad Jamon because that's the same word. But the Shabbath is simply, you have your Shah, your Ba, and your Tha. And in the Assyrian, Salakia. In the Assyrian, you have your Shah, your Ba, and your Tha. All right, the next word is sit. To say the word sit is Yeshab Yum. So you have your Ya, Sha, Ba, Ya, and your Ma connected. Yeshab Yum. And then in Syrian, your Ya, Sha, Ba, Yum. Remember, this is a Ma. We got to make sure that we drill that in our heads. Because I remember I was looking for a word one time, or I came across a word, and I was trying to say it. I was saying it crazy because I didn't understand the basics or one of the foundational principles that at the end of a word that there are certain characters that appear different or are written, scripted different. All right, so if you wanted to say bless or salute the priest, that is Barak which is the word for bless, ha kahan. Bless is Barak. Ha is your preposition, preposition. It's that word that sits, that position that sits before the root word. Oh, so here, let me finish writing this. And then Kahan is priest. So in the Hebrew, Salakia, the Hebrew, you have your Barak. Oh, also as a side note, in the ancient Hebrew, you don't have that same clause with those same characters. So even though this particular ka in the ancient Hebrew is at the end of a word, you're not going to find it wrote a different way or scripted or penned a different way, as if it was the Assyrian ka, which you will see coming up. So that's your Barak, ha, kahan. And then the Assyrian, you have your Barak, I'm going to accentuate that a little bit more. So you have your ba, your ra, and your ka. Now notice if the ka was on any other position, the ka in the Assyrian would have been scripted like this. Or some people just write it kind of like a C. That's your ka. But at the end of the word, this is at the end. This is anywhere else. So you have your Barak, ha, kahan. Give you a second to get that down, so lock you. All right, so just as a FYI, the Na was the other character that I was thinking about that looks like the Ra. The only difference is in some scripts it's written very skinny. Sometimes it's written like this with a little thing at the end. And then other times it's just like that without this. So all right, so let's go put the next one on the board. Clap your hands. If you wanted to tell somebody to clap your hands, that is Maka'ah. And I just want to be a good steward and double check. Yad Yakum. So the word for clap is Maka'ah, and your hands would be Yad Yakum. The ya would be your preposition. Your yad is your hand. Come will give you that plurality. That gives you the plurality. This is your hands. And the last one, I think I can fit one more on the board. If you wanted to say or let somebody know or tell somebody to be quiet, the word for quiet is shaquat. Oh, so lucky I didn't put it up in the Hebrew. So you have your like you. You have your I was mixing up the Assyrian and ancient. Your Makkah, Yad, Yakum. And the Assyrian would be it's a little tight right there, but I don't want to give you extra work, but if you screenshot it, or take your two fingers and slide it across away from each other, you can zoom in. So like yeah. All right, in the Hebrew, shaquat is you have your shah, your qua, and your ta. In the Syrian, so like yeah. You have your shah, your qua, and your ta. Give you a quick second to get that on the board, and we'll move on to the next set. I do hope my penmanship is legible. I think it looks pretty good. I'm working on Israel. That speed is up too. Y'all see how I used to be all up close, struggling, shaking, erasing about 50 times. All right, we ain't gonna talk about it. And why I'm erasing the board. Now, I haven't heard many people this year talk about it, but I've been around for a few years now. And I remember every year coming in, I will be minded of the Passover demon. And interesting enough, on the way here, I was thinking about how that Passover demon will operate in various ways. So my first couple years, 3-4 years, it was just direct. You know, you want to hit pockets, mess with your relationships. It was just like, you know, just direct. And then sometimes it can be indirect, but the goal is the same. Just like with any demon, the goal of any demon is the same. It's to kill, it's to destroy. And as I thought about it, me not making up to Passover is a sin, and the wages of sin is death. And that starts a habit. And then I have to compare it to certain things. I know the extent of what I did to achieve certain things in the world. So then on Judgment Day, what I'm going to say? I had a hard time. This was empty. And I can imagine after being slapped, he said, well, you didn't remember when you was going and scrimping and doing everything you had to do to get the new video game or whatever you wanted to do in your life. But when it was something that you knew was important, that was pretty much life or death, you didn't have that same zeal, which would clearly say that I'm not as important. That's why you have that scripture that say friendship of the world is enmity with God. It's just like, how you going to be friends with them and friends with me? It don't even work like that. It's almost direct hatred because this world is jacked up. I don't care if y'all agree with this or not. Y'all not going to disagree with the fact that this world jacked up. Ain't nobody walking around all happy. Some of the most heinous murders and suicides come from rich people. Obviously, getting that bag ain't that important. It can't be. Ain't nobody saying be broke. But you got to have your priorities straight. It's no different than a fiend looking for a rock, asking for change. They ain't ate in 7 days. As soon as they get $1, they get a rock. They ante up and go get a rock. Forget trying to get a burger or a sandwich. Like, we got to be honest with ourselves. Don't be narcissistic. Don't be so cognitive dissonance that you can't see as clear as day. Don't be that person. So, don't let that Passover demon win. Make it the Passover. Pay it back. Do what you have to do. Handle your business. It's not like you're going to get down there and be like, oh, man, I wish I wouldn't have came. No. You're going to get down there and be like, man, if I wasn't down there, wouldn't have spent this much money, and then I would have been working. I could have made this much money. No. If that's the case, if you really felt that way, you wouldn't be in the that you're currently in. If it's that tight, you're in that position for a reason. You made personal choices that wasn't good. How is doing what Christ did a choice that's not good? Christian church fool you. And the reason I keep saying don't let the Christian church fool you is because they're the flagpole that holds the book in most people's eyes. But they don't tell you what the book actually tells you to do. They don't teach you the spirit of the law. They tell you the law is done away with. They don't teach you about brotherhood. They don't teach you about rank and order and the necessity of that in life. You simple people, well, you hate rank and order, but there's rank and order in your everyday life. You go to a wedding, you're not about to eat before the people that's getting married, and you don't say nothing about it. You sit there and you be quiet. If you're at a business function and they start passing out food and it's 100 tables, you're not going to be looking around like, why they get their plate before me. You're going to sit there and be quiet. So in a part of operating and decently in order, that comes rank and order. That's how Christ operated. That's how the disciples operated. When Christ left, guess who he left at the head of the church? It wasn't all 12. It wasn't every Christian church around Detroit. It was one guy, Peter. And that's no different from the beginning of the book. It was Moses. Then it was Abraham. Like, I mean, we got to get it together. We see these patterns and then we act like it didn't never happen. It didn't exist. Just remember, you're not arguing with us. You're not going against us. You're going against God. We didn't write none of this. And if you don't want to agree with it or you don't like it, keep the Bible's name out your mouth. Just don't talk about it. Be an atheist. Yad yum. All right, Salakia. Hands up. Yad yum. Alam. Now, alam simply means up. So you can put that in your vocabulary words. And yad yum, as we just went over before, is hands. You have your yad, which is your hand, and yum is your plural. It's almost like just adding the S at the end of the word. So in the Hebrew, you have Salakia, Ilum. Oh, did that all backwards. Yadiyum. Ilum. And the Assyrian, it will be Yad Yum. Ilum. All right. So if you wanted to say hands down, that's Yad Yum Mata. So of course you have your Yad Yum. And then you have your Mata. In the Assyrian, There you have it. And then next you have turn. Oh, Salakia, let me give you the words real quick. So Matah is simply down, Salakia. In Yad Yom, of course, is hands. So if you wanted to say turn right, the word for turn is sar. And the word for right is yum yan. Yum yan. So in the Hebrew is simply Salakia. It's simply Sar. I'll write it under it. There's more room. So you have Sar Yum Yan. And then as Syrian is simply now. Remember how I told you that the Sa and the Ma that's shown at the end of a word look similar. I kind of purposely wanted to write it this way and leave the other one a little bit more boxy. But there you have it. So you got Sar Yum Yum for turn right and turn left. Barak, yeah. Can you help me out? How you say turn left in Hebrew? The brother said Sar. That's definitely turn. So we want to say Sar, turn left is Sar Shama all. Shar Shama all. So in the Hebrew, that's simply Shar Salakia. Shama all in the Syrian is Shar Shama all. Got a little crazy at the end, but I got down there. Y'all see it. Don't act like y'all don't see that. So in this, now you got directions and commands at the same time. So up was Ilah. And notice running out of room. Some erase. No, I ain't gonna erase it. We'll just go over it. So up is Ilah. Ilah, I-L-A-H is the word for up. But in giving that command of Yad Yom, Ilam, it's I-L-A-M. Just to make that kind of clear. Down is Matah. Left is Shama'al. Right is Yum Yum. And of course, turn is Sar. So if you want to say turn right is Sar Yum Yun. If you want to say turn left, it's Sar Shama All. All right. Give you a second to get that down. And then we're going to move on to the next portion and finish up. So the word for way or path is Darak. So in the Hebrew, you have your Da, your Ra, and your Ka. And then in Assyrian, you have this, your Da, your Ra, and your Ka. Now notice how similar all of those characters look. So that's why sometimes you'll see that Da kind of written like that. The Ra kind of has a longer top part. And then actually, I notice it doesn't have so much of an angle. So that's a good way to differentiate it. And the Yaka at the end of a word looks like that. Of course, if it was anywhere else, Yaka would look like that. So that's how you would say way or path. So if you wanted to say, what is the way? What is the way? And that would be way or path. That's Maha Darak. So in the Hebrew, you have your Maha. Oh yeah, it's like your Ma Ha Darak. So in the Syrian, it's simply so the what is Ma Ha, and of course, path or way is Darak. So if you wanted to say I'm on my way, it's Anya ba Darak Ya. So that's the ancient, and the Assyrian is simply that I looks like kind of like an X. Your ba There you have it in Assyrian. Practice on the Assyrian because if you're starting off now, it's easier to grasp it if you grasp it at the same time. I told myself in my procrastination or my laziness, yeah, I'm gonna just learn the ancient first and get good at that, and then I'll learn the Assyrian. It shouldn't be that hard. No, kind of don't work like that. Well, it didn't work like that for me. Y'all might be different. So if I wanted to say where's the school, school is Bar Yath Sapar. And if I wanted to say where, that's on Ayaha Salakia. Where is Ayah and is Ha. So in the Hebrew, that's simply, I'm gonna write it in red because that green getting a little weak. I wrote that pie real terrible. In the Assyrian, you have Anya. Yeesh, that's long. That pie looks like upside down G. So where's the school is Ayah Bar Yath Sapar. So Bar Yath also means house, but if you say Bar Yath Sapar, that means school. Now they used to say schoolhouse, right? Place of instruction. Right, and finishing up on some quick direction. If you wanted to tell somebody to go, the word for go or walk is halak. So in the Hebrew, you have your ha, your la, and your ka. The Assyrian, you have your ha, your la, and the ka. Thou shalt go is tha lock. Now, I want to say probably about 3-4 weeks ago, I did a class on past, present, and future tenses. So one of the things that was one of the rules that was given, a tha before a particular word, or a ya at the end of the word, it will indicate a certain thing. It will indicate whether it's past, present, or future tense, depending on how those characters are put together. So salak is future tense for that command. So you have your tha, your la, and your ka. Ka, which looks like a music note, La, and then your Ka. So forward. All right, help me out, Barack. Yeah, what's forward? He said Taza'ad. So you have your Tazah, your I, and your Da. The Tazah is separate. The Id is connected. So in the Assyrian, you have your two Ys, the two characters that look like Ys. So notice one looks like it breaks over and goes right and then goes left. So that's the Tazah. And the I in the Assyrian looks like a Y that just goes left. And then you have your Da. And to be honest, I've never seen these characters at the end of or in the Assyrian. So the indicators of whether two characters are pronounced together or connected, I haven't seen those unless it's indicated a different way that I just overlooked. All right, so the next word is backward. So if you want to tell somebody backward, that word is yeesh. Salaki Adawan, I'm gonna get my Adawan. How do you say the word backward in Hebrew? Like, akawar? That sound about right? So I'm gonna leave that as is. Right. I'm gonna pronounce it like that, the akawar. Now that CHAA, from my understanding, is pronounced like ha, like one of those tense. But you know, I ain't that advanced yet, so we're gonna leave it as is. So you have your ak. Slovakia. All right, so sideways is Taza'ad, which is simply Taza and Da together, which is simply the crazy looking Y. And your Da. Over is aisle. So when you hear that word "our yathun," it's over. And the last word is under, which is the kaf. All right, so there you have it. Of course, if you got any questions, go ahead, feel free, put it in the chat. If there was anything that you're interested in learning, a certain phrase, word you want to learn how to say, a certain particular name, go ahead, put it in the chat. I'm definitely probably won't address it now because I'm going to go look it up. Go ask a man that knows more than me. I'm going to use wisdom. And I'm going to be a diligent, and I'm not going to get it wrong. You dig it? All right, with that being said, if there's no questions, we're going to go ahead and close out. Min Israel, Majim. See, we went over that. Now y'all should know exactly what that means. Matter of fact, you got your Imad Imad Slakia. Yum. I just wanted to write it on the board real fast because I had it in my head and it made me look like I actually knew the Hebrew real fast. We ain't gonna tell nobody, but all right. Min Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatha, Yajmatah,